Hi, I'm John Bryant, founder, chairman, and chief executive officer of Operation Hope. We founded Operation Hope in 1992 as a nonprofit social investment bank. We saw then what I think the world sees now, that the real color is green, not black or white, or red or blue, but green, the color of US currency. But really, it's always been about economics. But most people don't understand economics. The economy is 70% consumer spending, but most people don't have effectively a private banker to give them good financial coaching and financial support. And when mainstream America has a headache, well, black and brown America tend to have pneumonia, but we're all sick. What people don't know is that in January of 1865, Field Action 15, one of Abraham Lincoln's lieutenants in ending the Civil War, went to Savannah, Georgia, not far from where I am now, to frame out some resources for those who were formerly enslaved. Those formerly enslaved people, my descendants, African-American men in this particular case, said they didn't want a handout. They wanted a hand up, they wanted land. So that's where the concept of 40 acres came from. The next month they worked that land so hard, they were instructed by the same general, my God, they were so industrious, give them a mule, 40 acres and a mule. The next month, the Freedmen's Bureau was signed into law, and part of that was the Freedmen's Bank. March 3rd, 1865, the Freedmen's Bank was stood up and signed into law by Abraham Lincoln to create a bank to, quote, teach freed slaves about money. Think about financial literacy, circa 1865. Abraham Lincoln, and by extension, leaders like Frederick Douglass and others, were trying to reintroduce or introduce African Americans into the free enterprise system in the right way, to give them the tools to not only think about freedom, but to operationalize it. Unfortunately, Abraham Lincoln was assassinated the next month, April 1865. And even though Frederick Douglass put up his own money to try to keep this bank alive, unfortunately it failed without a sponsor in the federal government. And that legacy was lost until leaders in this room today and around the world watching this video helped to re-inspire the nation by working with me and others to rename the Treasury Annex building the Freedmen's Bank building, January 2016. It's not just the name of a building, it's a reigniting of a mission of unfinished work, of what I call social justice through an economic lens. This is work that's important for all of America, because when you expand the table and add a chair, everybody wins in the US economy. Do you know that Citigroup report showed just a year or so ago that discrimination against blacks alone, in the last 20 years alone, not 200 years, not 400 years, in the last 20 years alone, cost the American economy $16 trillion. That's trillion. Racism is not only just morally wrong, it's economically unintelligent. So when you reverse that, if you just knock it off, just stop that bad behavior, because most of that is lost business, revenue, etc. All boats rise, and you pick up $1 trillion a year in additional GDP. I think there's 2 to 3% of lost GDP left behind by Latinos being left out of the economic system, by African Americans being left out of the economic system, by poor whites in the Appalachians and in rural America being left out of the economic system, by women being left out of the economic system. We can take no pleasure from the fact there's a hole in my end of our boat. We're all in this thing together. The opposite is also true. When all boats rise, everybody wins. That's what this is about. It's finishing a work of the Freedmen's Bank that benefits all Americans, because Dr. King did not say, I'm here to save black people. He said, I'm here to redeem the soul of America from the triple evils of war, racism, and poverty. His last book was Where Do We Go From Here? The Freedmen's Bank Forum and the Freedmen's Bank work, unfinished, yet still on tap, is where do we go from here? Thank you.